This way, Brian.
Oh, different. It's different.
It's mirrored, is what it is. So, tell me if it's working.
Should be working. Let me just test it.
Hello? Yep, test. Okay, looks like we're back up directly on YouTube.
Donut Man was coming in too, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened or what caused it.
Aliens.
What's up?
Aliens.
Aliens. Yeah, aliens. Dumb it. Is this thing on? I friggin' hope so. Apparently, OBS just does not like to communicate with YouTube properly at all. But Donut Man, what's going on? How are you doing? How has your week been? How was last week? I didn't stream last week. But we should be live now, and hopefully it's all. What does the cool kids say? Gucci.
It's all Gucci gravy, man.
You just say Gucci gravy, Meng? I'm learning.
Amber's back.
Amber, welcome back.
That was weird.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm streaming directly back on YouTube right now. For some reason, OBS talking to the YouTube servers does not like it. Not bad. Paid off the car 10 months early. Very nice.
Good job, dude.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Can't beat that.
I wish I could do that.
You're telling me now that I have my truck, it's so expensive every month. Yeah, I pretty much, I almost doubled my last car payment when I got this truck. It's cray dog. Okay.
Who's this guy? Welcome to the stream. Back in the day, 2110.
Back in the day, 2110. Kiss Detroit Rock City cover by Van Gordorn. Van Gordorn. So I can't, back in the day, I am unable to do live reactions. So this is more of just a hangout, chat, get to know you kind of thing. If I do any type of reactions live on stream, I will get, the stream will actually get taken down. But you're welcome to hang out, talk to people. I just ask that you be respectful, polite, kind to others. No religion, politics talking here. Just relax. It's all about just kind of chilling it into your week and just kind of hanging out, talking. It allows me to kind of get to know the people who are checking out my videos. And if you have any questions personally for me, please ask. Be more than happy to answer for you.
Oh, the watch list.
Nemophila, Dissension to add to your watch list. Okay, cool. What beer you drinking? So I am drinking a Dragon's Milk Reserve, not sponsored. I wish it was. Dragon's Milk Reserve. It's basically a bourbon barrel aged stout with peanut butter, cocoa nibs, and natural flavors. Yeah, so it's a peanut butter stout for the most part, but it's bourbon barrel aged.
Lost my peanut butter.
Lost me a peanut butter. That's okay. It's not for everyone. I like my stouts and porters and my porters and my nitros.
Hey, whiskey. All right, that's good.
And I like whiskey too. I just right now I do not have any. I'm out, fresh out of my whiskey.
Got a like already in there. Thumbs up. Thank you. What?
Oh yeah, so you can like the streams on YouTube. Did not know that. See, I'm so used to streaming through OBS, I don't see that. See the statistics. So yeah. Cinnabella, what up? What up? Welcome to the stream. Am I saying that right? Cinnabella? What's going on? How are you? How was your week? So if anybody didn't know, this is my moderator in chat, Brian.
How you doing, guys?
Or as you guys know him, as YouTube Real Estate, the infamous YouTube Real Estate that's been in the chat with the blue wrench. He is a real person, and now I live close enough where he can come and kind of just hang out and join the stream with us.
Thank you for inviting me. Pleasure to be here. Everybody like the stream?
Should we go for balance and harmony or favor peace and positivity? Huh. It's more of a disorganized chaos, Amber, if you're in regards to the stream.
From Indonesia. Hey, there we go.
Oh, you're from Indonesia. Okay, awesome. Welcome to the stream. You know, right now, the people watching my videos are almost 70% Indonesian. So 70% of the people watching my videos right now are from Indonesia. So thank you, Cinnabella, for watching my videos. It's been awesome checking out the Indonesian music. It's been really cool. So far, my favorite band is Burger Kill. Hands down, my favorite Indonesian band is Burger Kill. They're awesome.
Has she watched one of your videos at all? Or?
I would assume so. And yes, he gave the real estate guy power. I still can't believe it. I know those sneaky bastards. Should we go for balance and harmony or peace and positivity? Let me go back to that. Balance and harmony. There's no balance or harmony going on between us. It's like disorganized chaos or structured chaos.
Yeah. Say
structured chaos, if that's a organized chaos. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have any goals on these streams, like, like coming in and being like, we're gonna do this, this, or this. It's just to chill, relax on a Friday, hang out and talk to you guys. That's all. That's the whole plan. And Cinnabella, I missed your first message there. I'm glad you're doing fine. That's good. Structured chaos. I like it. It sounds like a 12-step program for chaos. Right. So it's like AA. So you walk in and you're in stages, right? So like 1 would be just complete chaos, 10 would be structured chaos, right? So you have to walk into your meeting and it's a chaos meeting. And and it's a surprise. You don't know what's going to happen. You could walk in the door and get punched in the throat. And they're like, welcome to chaos, bro. And you're like, oh, okay. Right. That,
right at
yeah.
home.
That, my friend, is the stage called unplanned chaos. You always have to be prepared. So yeah, it's like you have to walk in, you have to announce your name. Like, hi, my name's Trent, and I'm a chaos-aholic. And yeah.
Hi, Trent.
Yeah, hi, Trent. But yeah, no, actually, just an extra video I'm going to be uploading later tonight after the stream. We actually did a vocal cover together tonight, having some fun. Probably a band that you guys probably don't typically listen to because it's more along the lines of bands I listen to. We covered a song called "You Won't Be Missed" by Like Moss to Flame. So it's an older song that I listened to in high school. So it was like a nostalgic thing doing it. Super easy song vocally to scream, to be honest with you. But it was fun to do.
Easy for some people.
Sure, easy for some people.
But I had a lot of fun doing it, so it was great.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I'd like to start doing more vocal covers, but the problem is I'm also trying to stay on top of recording my original stuff with Astral Black.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to do that as well.
Very true, sir.
Yeah, yes. It's very true. But anybody who is new to the stream here, thanks for checking out the stream. Again, as a reminder, I cannot do live reactions on stream as much as I'd want to. YouTube is awfully strict about DMCA and copyright. It's getting pretty bad even over on Twitch as well. It's getting really bad there too. But if I try to stream any music at all that has a hint of copyright material in it, then they will crap all over you and your stream will get shut down, etc. But just so people are aware, because a lot of people come in and they're not aware of that. Like, oh, you're not doing live reactions. Well, it's like I would love to, but you can't. It would be fun to do, but unfortunately you can't. Like, for example, I could play my band's personal music because it's my band, but I'm not going to sit here and do that because this my YouTube channel and the stream isn't about the promotion of the bands that I'm in or do vocals for. It's not. That's not what it's about.
It's about you guys, man.
Mm-hmm. I know. No, I mean, I've had a blast doing these reaction videos, not because I think it's going to make me money. It's I get to find and I get to listen to new music all the time. Like, I didn't know there was this many Indonesian bands. Like, I'm on like an Indonesian rock and metal kick right now. And every time I go to my comment section, it's just blasted with new Indonesian rock and metal bands. And it's awesome. It's like bands I would have never have known about in my entire life if it weren't for, people from Indonesia commenting and asking me to check them out. What is your favorite game OST? What does OST stand for?
I'm not sure.
I know it stands for something.
Game Ost. Original soundtrack.
Oh, duh, that makes sense.
Ooh, that's a good
What is your
question.
favorite game original soundtrack? Huh. Well, I can't remember which number of it was, but Devil May Cry had a pretty sick soundtrack. There's Combi Christ was on there. There a lot of industrial metal, so I really enjoyed that. Actually, there's a PC game too that I play. It's called Killing Floor. So Killing Floor 2 features a lot of metal bands on their soundtrack. So the entire time you're just shooting and killing zombies, you're just jamming out to metal. So it's got to be between one of those two, either that or Doom, because I think I want to say Mitch Gordon, but I feel like that's not right. Mick, sorry, Mick Gordon's original music on the Doom soundtracks is just heavy and sweet. It's all instrumental. I'm actually putting vocals to one of them, and that's going to be a video that I'm releasing. Actually, I'm not going to be releasing it on my channel. Another guy, a drummer of mine that's a studio musician, is actually going to be collaborating with me on it, and we're going to be releasing a video for it.
That's awesome.
So it's got to be between those three. So Devil May Cry or Killing Floor, or almost blank there, or Doom, the Doom soundtracks. So Doom soundtracks are always heavy. Mick Gordon's awesome. He's playing on an 8 and a 9-string guitar for those soundtracks. It's nice and chunky.
Great question.
Yeah, it's a very cool question. But yeah, guys, and Amber, if you didn't know, and those in the stream who didn't know, I put out a quick poll on my channel saying, hey guys, would you guys like to see me interview some bands? And overwhelmingly, for the most part, was yes. Like, you guys would be interested in me interviewing some bands, and talking to them.
We've got some people in the
Is it Zachariah Al? Hey, please react. I can't pronounce any of that.
Divide JKT.
Is that what that is? Divide JKT Darabiru? Is that what I'm saying? I can put that on my watch list, but just so you know, I cannot react to it live. So if you're new to the stream, those who are not new, they're probably getting like, oh my God, I've heard this already. But I have to repeat it just so people understand that I cannot, and YouTube will not allow me to do live reactions. Sounds like a fun putting lyrics to a song from. Oh, it is. It's a blast. The song's super heavy sounding. I can't wait to get it released. Don't know, man. I used to play Doom on the PC back in the day, listening to 9 Inch Nails as background music. Perfect. Absolutely. Industrial metal is typically super good for games like Doom. It's got like that the creepier ambiance to it because it's typically a little bit of a darker sound.
Yeah.
And it typically fits well with like horror games and Doom, some shooting games depending on the style of shooter. But yeah, so what I was saying is about the polls. I did a poll regarding if I should interview bands, and the majority of the votes were yes. I only had a few no's. So that's what I'm going to be doing too. On top of the reaction videos, if I can, I'm going to be reaching out to bands and trying to get short interviews. I don't want them to be long, drawn out, hour-long videos by any means. I want them to be at most no more than 20 minutes at max. Is my hope and my goal. I just want it to be a platform that I can maybe. I mean, I don't have a billion subscribers, but if I can make a platform that allows bands to get on video to my 2.5 thousand subscribers that I have and said, hey, this is our band, this is what we do. We'd love for you to give us a chance and check out our music, and maybe also kind of get to know them a little bit, like what are they all about, why they started their band, and just a platform, a smaller platform or another platform for them to kind of plug their music, right? And I think that'll be a lot of fun. So I actually am doing my first interview. So hopefully it goes well, and it'll be a test to kind of see how this process is going to work. So I'm actually, it's a band that's reached out to me several times to help promote a couple of their songs and reaction videos. They're a Polish metal band called Mentally Blind. I really enjoyed their music, actually. Again, they're Polish metal. They just got signed to Blood Blast Records, which is basically a sister company of Nuclear Blast Records. And most people know what or have heard of Nuclear Blast Records. They're a massive label. But I'm going to be interviewing them on Monday. I've already got the questions set up. I've already sent them the questions ahead of time, so they can kind of prepare. And so it's not like a blind side. So we'll be doing that, and hopefully, depending on the editing that needs to be done with it, I might actually be able to get it posted that day, just depending on how things go, or I'll wait to post it on the following day. But yeah, I think it's going to be a cool experiment to do to change things up, and more so, I want to be able to promote these bands who want to be promoted. And who knows, someone, even if 10 people out of my 2,000 subscribers like their music, that's 10 more people that like their music that maybe they didn't before, or maybe they have never heard of them before. So just an opportunity for exposure is all I want to provide. And I think that would be cool. And if my channel continues to grow, that's going to be actually more enticing for bands. The more subscribers I get on the channel, the more bands would probably be more willing to want to jump on an interview, right? It's like, oh, this is great exposure for us.
Yeah.
So I think that could be definitely a path of a series or another video grouping that I can do, whether that's, if I get to the point where I'm able to, like, once a week have at least an interview posted, or once a month, depending. Right now, it's probably more so like once a month, just because I'm just now starting. I need to get this ironed out and kind of see where that will go. But I think it could be definitely a lot of fun. I think it could be cool, and it'll probably help my introverted self be a little bit more social.
You're introverted? You're introverted?
I'm very much introverted.
No, I agree with you, man. And it could be like the Howard Stern of maniacs, man. That would be sweet.
I think it would be cool, right? Because, like, I would have never have known about, for example, the band I'm interviewing on Monday. I would have never have known about that band if they didn't reach out to me, right? So they emailed me and said, hey, we'd love for you to do a reaction to our stuff. Now, granted, I know they reached out to probably 15, 20, 30 other reactors, right? And that's okay. That's smart. That's marketing. That's getting yourself out there. But for me, it's also like, it's really cool because it's like, I would have never have heard their music. Because they're not a massive band. They're not global yet. So I get to hear these guys when they're in, the shorter stages. And it would be cool to kind of see some of these bands maybe that I'm reacting to or interviewing blow up and get big, because that's been kind of for example, there's a band that I played with, and when we played the show with them, the band, by the way, is a band called Silent Planet. We played a show with them, and no one came. It was the middle of the week, and it was just us and their tour package. So we literally, as bands, played to each other. And then Silent Planet got absolutely massive. They blew up after that. They got signed. They're huge. So it's kind of cool seeing that, I remember playing with that band in a venue to no one, right? But then I've also remember playing with bands like Black Dahlia Murder, Dying Fetus, Flesh God Apocalypse, and Whitechapel in a band, in a venue that's holds well over 2,000 people. So it's just cool to see the variations, and it's funny because most people would think, well, it would be so cool to play to that many people, but honestly, it's not. Like, it's cool to say you have, but playing in more intimate settings and smaller venues is so much more fun. You can interact with people more. I mean, when here's the stage and then here are the people like right here, it's so much more fun to be able to interact with them during the song, fist bump them, high five them. I can put if they're singing my music, I can put my mic out and let them sing. And it's not because they're going to be amazing or they're going to be good. It's just, it's having that connection with your crowd. And that's a lot of fun. So I'll take playing in an intimate venue with, 200, 300 people, 50 people, 10 people, but over playing in a venue that's got 2,000 any day. It's just a lot more fun to be more intimate and connecting with your crowd.
That's why this channel is good too. It's because you get to hang out with people, from everywhere.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the thing too. That's why, I mean, if I'm being honest, that's why I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing the streams.
Well, thanks for the likes, man. That's cool. 4 likes already.
Yeah, 4 likes. That is awesome. I appreciate the guys liking the stream. Thank you so much. But yeah, I think that's another big reason why I like this, because I'm not the type of person that wants to go out on a weekend and go to a bar. I'm not the type of person that wants to go out and be social or do anything like that. That's just not who I am or what I enjoy. It really never has been. So I think that this has been a lot of fun because I get to do something that I really enjoy, and that's find new music, listen to music. But when I do these streams, I also get to kind of chat with people who love music, and then it can turn into whatever, like video games or just kind of chatting about your life. And it's kind of a segue. It's almost like an icebreaker. So for me, this is being social. Like this is about as social as you're gonna see me. Like even if you ask people, who see me perform live, like on stage, I'm absolutely batshit crazy. As soon as I step off that stage, I go and I sit my ass down at that merch table and I just relax the rest of the night. I watch the other bands, or I'll occasionally talk to someone who comes up to my table after the set and will ask about whether it's our merch or just wants to ask me questions. But so yeah, this is like me being social. And then like when it comes to like a friend circle, I don't really have a lot of friends, right? So like I have like Brian, so there's like my buddy here, Brian, and a few other people, and like my girlfriend, right? So like that's my friends. Those are my friends. So I've never been a go out and party and go out and meet new people kind of person. That's never been who I was. So this for me is a lot of fun. Whether it's one person in the stream that I'm chatting with or 50, it doesn't matter to me because I'm still chatting with somebody. I'm still talking and kind of, let me catch up on chat here a little bit. Amber, first of all, Socrates. Hey, everyone. Late to the party. Sorry, I was running my big mouth, Socrates. Welcome to the chat. Thank you, everyone who welcomed Socrates into the chat. Amber says, I completely understand what you mean. I kind of had the same thing when I'm in cosplay. It's like another persona you have for yourself that you create just for your situation or just for that situation. You can kind of step in and out to allow you to still be comfortable. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think another thing too that I've identified without getting like too deep is I was talking to my girlfriend about that. Like my entire life, I've had like an outlet for negative emotions, right? And that's been like in high school and stuff, growing up with sports, football, baseball, basketball, and then lifting. And then when it wasn't that, it was out playing not basketball at the park or going to the college to play basketball, because always doing something, exercising, basketball, and then it turned into music. And then, so I think what's been super difficult for me and it's kind of put me on edge or kind of, I don't know, maybe I guess depressed. I don't know. The last like good year is that, COVID hit, right? So COVID hit, and then my band hasn't played a show now in about a year. Don't even know if my band's actually gonna be staying together. um, I ended up losing my job last May because of the pandemic, so I was out of a job for almost 5 months. I wasn't playing music, wasn't recording, wasn't doing anything like that. So it's like the first time in my life I didn't really have an outlet for negative energy, and I think that's what I struggled with, is because I didn't have something that I've had my whole life. But I think identifying that and having those conversations with my girlfriend has been super helpful in figuring that out, because I started kind of trying to get back into the swing of things. I'm now doing, I'm doing vocals for 3 different projects essentially. My main band, Defy Reality, my newest band, they're called Astral Black. We're basically references black into deathcore. It's super heavy, super gritty, super nasty sounding. I love it. Allows me to do more range with my vocals than Defy Reality does. Defy Reality is more just straight metalcore, so I can't do a lot of the shrieks and the shrills and the range with the gutturals and the pig squeals, etc. And then also doing a Christian metalcore project as well. That's just a lot of fun as well. So keeping myself busy recording is a lot of fun. Brian and I recorded tonight. That was a lot of fun.
I loved
Um,
it.
it's also like a feeling of being productive, right? It helps to feel productive. So if I feel like I'm sitting around doing nothing, I can go crazy. Makes you go crazy.
That's a good kind of topic, I guess, to like maybe talk to the chat about. Like, what kind of coping things have they done?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, without getting into anything too deep or anything
Yeah.
like that, I'm sure the pandemic has affected everybody, right? Sir, I'm gonna need you to quiet down over there. So yeah, I mean, absolutely, it's a good topic. I mean, the pandemic has probably affected everyone a little bit differently. Everybody's been impacted in some way or another by the pandemic. What have you guys found helpful in situations where you're like, man, things really suck right now. What can I do to get myself out of that? So I think that'd be interesting. And maybe it doesn't help me personally, but maybe someone else in the chat could benefit from it. Cinta try Metal Rock Indonesia. Adane, Living Dead. So Cinta, I actually reacted to Living Dead by Adane. If you go on my channel, just go to my videos on my channel. I have that reaction there. So you'll be able to see that there. I'm not going to lie. I got to use the restroom.
All right.
So I will be right back. The beer did it. So I'll be right back, and then I will catch up on your comments, guys. You can talk to Brian, too.
The beer always does it. It's crazy how that works. I know when I drink beer, I get tired. So it's more like I'm more like you, Amber. I like to do all the whiskey and things like that. You know what they say is liquor and then beer, you're in the clear. Beer then liquor, never sicker. So that's the motto I always live by. Wait, what's that? So why does the guy with power let the guy who just waltzed out run the show? Well, I enjoy just like you guys saying in yours. Yeah, yeah. I'm one of those people that remember things that don't really matter until they come up. What's that? I always mixed them up, never had an issue. Oh yeah, well, my stomach's not the best either, don't it? I knew you should have given him floaties. He's been gone a while. I actually think he went to go get another beer. What he's drinking is a peanut butter stout, and it's just god good. It's a peanut butter chocolate stout. I believe is Dragon's Milk. Beer turns me into a water fountain, though. Yeah. Same with me, don't it? I'm the same way with beer, but sometimes you just gotta have a nice beer on a nice Friday night when you're trying to wind down from a nice busy day at work, and hey, there he is.
It smells like French fries in here.
It smells like waffle fries in here.
I
That's
was
my
like,
fault.
I walked in, I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, I know what that is. It's that's what'd you have, Mr. Hero? You said.
Yes.
All right. Oh man, I missed a lot. Oh,
They kind of went crazy on me.
There's nothing wrong with that.
He doesn't have another beer. You're not wrong.
what was I supposed to get another beer?
Well, they were surprised that you were gone a while. And I was like, well, maybe he went to go grab another one.
Okay, I washed my hands, people. Jeez, I'm getting timed at the restroom. All right, what in the hell did I miss here?
You're on the clock, man.
Apparently, damn. The beer always does it. Yep. So why does a guy with the power let the guy who just waltzed out run the show? Whoa. I leave for 35 seconds and Amber goes right on in, huh?
That's a waste of time.
Man, I haven't heard that saying in years. Don't know what you said.
Liquor than beer, never a cigarette. Wait, liquor than beer. You're in the clear.
Oh, okay.
Beer than liquor, never been sicker.
No. He didn't fall in, did he? I don't know how fast these people pee, but that was like 30 seconds after I left. Like, should I be sprinting and ripping my clothes off to go to the bathroom, like diving towards it? Like, I always mixed him up, never had an issue. He's been gone a while. I knew you should have given him floaties. Beer turns me into a water fountain, though. Oh, he doesn't have another beer. He did fall in, didn't he? Jeez. I had to pee, guys. God.
Kidders. You're all a bunch of kidders.
All I had to do is pee, man. Come on. Oh, I'm getting my tattoo finished tomorrow. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. 1 o'clock. I'm going in to get to finish this piece right here. I'm excited to finally get it wrapped up and taken care of.
Yeah, maybe you could wear the cutoff shirt next stream and give a reveal.
Maybe. He did fall in, didn't he? Was that only after one beer? Just keep it. So that, well, technically, yes, that was one beer, but I also drank how many bottles of, like 4 bottles of water when we were recording just before this. So yeah, we were recording our vocal cover before the stream tonight, and when I record, I am pounding bottles after bottles after bottles of water, and
got one over here.
Yeah, there is one over there. So it was 1 beer and like 4 bottles of water. So I had to pee like a racehorse.
Yeah, let them know if they want to hear us sing and shout. They can check the video out.
Did you mean to rhyme? Let me see what I just missed. Socrates, just keep a bottle on your desk. Imagine that awkwardness. Like, hey guys, just hold on 1 minute. I'm just sitting here just and not saying a word. And you just hear the echo of it hitting the bottle. It's like, is he? Yeah, don't ask. He does this every stream because he doesn't want to leave the stream. He's dedicated.
Does anybody have any embarrassing moments they would like to share?
Oh man. I could tell you a funny story when I was on tour. I don't know if I've told this in a stream before, but so when we were on tour, we didn't have any money, as most bands do on tour. But we found this campground at this place in Pennsylvania. And we were in it. So we were all in a truck for the tour. So we were in a Ford F-150 for the tour with our trailer. So we had 2 people in the front, 3 in the back, and so we had to find a place. We were literally just sleeping in the truck, and then it was it was summer, so some of us would actually sleep on the ground in the Walmart parking lot at night. So just so we could spread out. But we stopped in PA, and there's a place in PA called Treasure Lake. And we thought it was just a campground, but no, it's like a whole enclosed, like 90-mile radius long, like city and town. It's got its own schools. And I'm like, this is like some cult stuff here. But it was actually really pretty. It was kind of cool. But we went in and we're like, hey, we're a band on tour. Can we just pay for a camping spot for the night so we can sleep? And they were really cool about it. So we did. And by this time, this was about halfway through our tour. And I started the tour on the first night. Actually, on stage, I threw up. I got super sick, and I started the tour with the flu. It was awesome. I mean, so it's funny because right in the middle of the song, I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. So I remember turning around and just blah.
Oh my god.
And I turned to grab a drink of water, drank my water, and I remember finishing the set, but I just felt like garbage the rest of tour. But so we were about halfway through, and I thought I was good. I thought I wasn't sick anymore. So we parked, and we found the camp. The camp spot, by the way, is like 20 minutes into this place in the woods, which took us forever to get to. So we finally found this place, and we got to camp, and it was like off season for campers there, I guess. But we were able to, we funny enough, we had like 3 or 4 machetes in our truck. So we went and we were right by the woods. So we went and cut some trees down, and we made a big fire. It was really, it was cool. Right. And we were the only ones there. So we made a nice big fire, and they're like, oh, we should go get food. And and we're like, yeah. So we all jumped in the other band that we were touring with, Van, which is, by the way, is this band here. They're called Into the Harbor. They're a deathcore band from New York, Rochester, New York, which we ended up becoming like lifelong friends with. So I actually got these sent to me because they were selling all of their old shirts that they were selling when we went on tour with them for $5 a piece. So I reached out to my buddy and said, dude, give me one of each. I'm buying them all because I want to keep these forever as like a nostalgic feeling from tour. But so we hopped in the van and we went, and I don't think we could take simultaneous streams. I'm confused about that, don't I, man? But can you elaborate? I'm confused. What did I miss? But so we jumped into their van, because we had passed the sheets right outside of Treasure Lake, the place in PA. Oh, the bottle under the desk. Oh, clever. Okay, I don't know. Who knows until you try it, don't it? But we went to Sheets, and I was like, dude, I'm so hungry. I haven't really gotten to eat like this whole tour because I've been sick. I'm like, I feel great now. I'm like, I'm doing it. I bought the deep fried mac and cheese bites. I bought mozzarella sticks, and I bought this big burger. It was so good. We sat around the fire when we got back, and I was just going to town eating. Going to town eating. So then I felt fine. I was like, this is amazing. I must be better, right? And then so it came to time to go to bed. So we were like, we went over to go to bed. I just reclined in the front seat. My guitarist Nick and my other guitarist Brad, they pulled the seats out from the other touring band van, and they reclined them literally in the middle of the park, by our truck outside. But it was a beautiful night. Like, there was no issues there. So they were going to sleep outside by the truck. And then our bassist slept in the back bed of the back seat of the truck. And then my drummer was in the driver's seat. I was in the passenger. Passed out. We're good to go. It was tired. About 3 a.m. in the morning, I woke up and I'm like, oh no, I feel like garbage. I'm like, this isn't good. And I'm like, I'm going to throw up. So I whipped open his door, and I started projectile vomiting out of his truck. I felt so horrible and sick. I was just throwing up and throwing up and throwing up everything that I was just so confidently eating earlier. And then, but as I'm like, I distinctly remember this. I remember as I'm throwing up outside of his truck, I remember looking up, and it's pouring rain. So it's pouring rain. And then the next thought was, oh my God, where's Nick and Brad? They were sleeping outside. And I'm like I'm throwing up at the same time. I'm simultaneously looking around the truck, trying to find them because they're not where they were sleeping before. And I was like, oh, I don't know where they're at. I'm like, and then I finished throwing up. And then I sat back down in the truck, and I kid you not, my drummer wakes up for like 3.5 seconds, looks at me and goes, hey man, you want a water? And I look at him, I'm like, no, I don't want a water. He's like, all right. And then just passes back out like nothing ever happened. I'm sitting there like, what is going on? So I go back asleep, and I'm just like, I don't care. Nick and Brad are probably fine. And I went back to sleep, woke up the next morning, but I was still like concerned about them because they're my friends and we're in an unknown place. It's like I woke up and I got out of the truck, stepped over my vomit, And I'm like looking around and I'm like, I don't see them anywhere. And I'm like, okay, where are these guys? So I'm like, you know what? They probably just shacked up with the other band in their van, right? I went over there, knocked on the van. They opened the door. Like, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, did Nick and Brad run over here last night when it was pouring? We're like, no, we haven't seen them. And I'm like looking around and I'm like, where the hell are they? And now I'm starting to get kind of concerned because don't know where they're at. Don't see them anywhere. And then not even 5 minutes later, the vocalist from the other band comes walking back from the bathroom and goes, hey, I found Nick and Brad. And I'm like, what do you mean you found them? Yeah, they're snuggling in the floor in the bathroom. And I was like, excuse me? The outdoor bathroom at this park? They're sleeping in there? I'm like, dude, that's almost a half a mile away from where we parked. And he's like, yeah, dude, I almost tripped on him. He's like, I had to poop this morning and I walked in there and almost fell over them. Because the best part is that the bathroom that, granted, this is the nicest outdoor bathroom I've ever seen. Like, it was spit shine, like it was clean, but still a bathroom. And he said he had to walk in to poop and almost tripped over them because the lights in that bathroom were motion activated. And I'll get there, Amber. Trust me. And he's like, yeah, I had to poop and I almost fell over them trying to get to the stall. He's like, I stepped over them and I pooped and they still slept. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, no, they didn't wake up. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I got everybody and we walked to the bathroom and I kid you not, both my guitarists, Nick and Brad, were in their Snuggies sleeping in the bathroom floor. We woke them up and I'm like, dude, why are you guys in here sleeping? He was like, it started raining, so we both just ran here to sleep. And I'm like, you were like 6 inches from the truck. Why did you not just knock on the truck to be let in? But here's the thing is, the guys I'm in a band with are the most kind and considerate people on this planet Earth, that they would rather run a half a mile to sleep in a bathroom than to wake us up in the middle of the night. I mean, that's just the type of people that I'm in a band with. Like, they're the most kind and considerate, like, just sweetheart of people, right? So, like, they would rather, like I said, they rather to run about a half a mile to go sleep in the bathroom floor than wake us up.
Yeah, they'll wake you up.
You know, but it's just, I was like, dude, guys, like, you could have woken us up. It was pouring outside. And like, I'm like, as I was vomiting, I was concerned about you. And it was just, I'll never forget that, because the best part is when I was talking to him about it is because the bathroom light was motion sensor, they had to lay perfectly still in that bathroom floor or the light would kick on and you'd hear that like light buzz. So it'd be like click, you know, the freaking light heating up in the bathroom. So Nick's like, we'd finally get to go off and we'd be like, all right, perfect. And then one of us would like roll in their sleep and it would turn on. And then we'd be like, click. And then, so they had to like try to figure out a way to lay perfectly still all night.
Oh,
and like those poor freaking guys. And that's just saying, Donut Man. I wouldn't have been that considerate. What was that?
I don't know. Maybe a door shutting or something.
Yeah, probably loud noises. But it's just funny because I mean that. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful to be in a band with those type of guys, right? You know, no, everyone was just considerate to each other, kind to each other. They're, you know, it's like when you're in a band, it's a relationship, it's a family, right? You're dating your band members. Like, you have to have good communication with them. You have to learn to tolerate them. It's, you know, you're married to your band. You know, so you have to have a solid foundation. That's why it's so important to have good members in your band. Not just be, you know, you can't just pick 5 guys who are super talented and it's going to work, because that's not how it works. So, but yeah, it was just kind of funny because like they would have rather run a half a mile in the pouring rain to sleep in a gross bathroom floor than to wake us up. You know, it's like, it's sweet, but I'm like, guys, next time just wake us up. But yeah, that was a fun night. That was probably the most entertaining thing on tour. Another crazy thing that happened on tour was we were playing in Detroit, Michigan, and we were playing at this venue called the Ritz. I think I had mentioned it before. I think Donut and Socrates, maybe you guys were here for that, but we were playing at this Michigan venue called the Ritz, and so my band plus the band on my shirt, Into the Harbor, we were the touring package. So what that means is we are the two bands that came in, and regardless, we were the last two bands that go on after any of the other bands, because we were the tour package. And another random band on tour decided to show up. I'm not going to mention any names. No, screw it. I don't care. They're called Lights Out Paris. And one of the members was from a band called I Set My Friends on Fire. Two of the members, I should say. Two of the members were from I Set My Friends on Fire. And they came in and begged because they wanted to play a show that night because one of their other shows dropped. And the promoter was like, "All right, that's fine. You can play, but you're not going to go on until 1 a.m. You're playing after even the tour package plays. Like you're not going on until 1 a.m." He's like, you can't just jump on and expect it, right? So the promoter was trying to be cool about it and let him jump on the show. And because it's funny because I actually had played with the dude from the one guitarist from I Set My Friends on Fire in another band that he was playing in called The Bunny the Bear. And I played with them before, and he remembered us. He's like, "Oh, I remember playing with you guys in Ohio. You guys were sick, and you did the thing." He's like, "I was really sick that night," which, to give it to him, I actually remember that. I remember he was really sick that night, and I remember speaking to him at the show. So I was like, "All right, kudos to you for actually remembering us," And then I remember walking into the green room in the back, and the first thing they said were like, "What's up, guys? You guys want some Coke?" And we're like, "No." We're gonna pass on that. And we're like, "All right, guys, let's not hang out in the green room." And then later on, I remember this kid was like 17 at the time, maybe 18, not even. And I was like, "All right, yeah, it's cool. You do your thing. Ruin your life."
Right.
And then he's at the bar and orders a pitcher of Bud. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, did they just serve him? He's 17. Why is no one stopping this? And then we walk over and sit down, and we were just kind of chatting with them because everyone in my band besides one person was of age. So I grabbed a beer, and we were just kind of hanging out, talking. And they looked at, he's like, "Hey, you guys want to pop some pills?" Like, he's like, "I got some Xanax." And I'm like, "No, if we didn't want your Coke, why would I want your Xanax?"
It's got ups and downs.
Right. He's got the uppers. He's got the downers. He's going to have the sidewayzers. Like, and I was like, "No, I'm good on that, man." And he's like, all right. And then he just sat there by himself and was just drinking this pitcher of beer. I'm like, this kid's going to die before he's even 20. And let me pause real quick to read what Socrates said. When I was in Tokyo, I met a girl at a bar and walked her to her apartment. We said goodnight, and I began to wander around. It was about 6 a.m. I was still drunk and had to poop real bad. Where does the story go from there, Socrates? But yeah, so that band, we played the show. It was fun. It was good. My band manager showed up, and the guy we stayed with. So we were actually staying with the guitarist at the time of a band called It Lies Within out in Michigan. Super cool guy. Like, opened his home to us and Into the Harbor. He was awesome. And we didn't even expect him to show up that night because he had to be up for work super early in the morning. He's like, "Guys, I would love to come out, but it's an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back, and you guys won't be here until like 1. He's like, "So I don't think I can make it." Like, "All right, guys, no, dude, no worries. You're giving us your house. Like, that's cool. Like, that's not a problem at all." And so, but he actually ended up showing up, and he was such a sweetheart of a guy. I'll never forget him. He's such an awesome guy. But so they showed up. It was a good show. And then this band Lights Out Paris goes on. They play their show, and mind you, we're playing to no one at these venues, right? We're basically a local band on our first tour, playing to no one, right? And that's to be expected. And this Lights Out Paris band gets on. It's 1 o'clock in the morning to play their set. And they're literally just playing to other bands, not like people who showed up to watch bands. They're just playing to other bands. And, so one of the other guys in the other band got super drunk. And one of the guys on stage was like, "If someone doesn't go F up our merch table in this set, I'm getting off the stage and fighting you." So that was apparently a cue for the one super drunk guy from the other band to like go, "Woo!" He runs and does a somersault onto their merch table, kicks a glass mirror that's probably 5 feet across by 10 feet, the width with 5 feet, length 10 feet, a massive mirror, and it just comes crashing on top of his face. And I remember, I remember seeing the aftermath of it, and he was standing outside, and the promoter was livid. He walks over and goes, "You need to go to an effing hospital right now," talking to the guy. And the guy's like sitting there smoking with a cigarette, blood all over his white tank top. He's just smoking his cigarette, holding like his eye, like right here, just holding it like this, just smoking. And he's like, "Nah, man, I'm fine." He's like, "I'm good. I don't need to go to the hospital." He's like, "No, you need to go to the hospital." He's like, "I'm fine, bro." And the guy goes, "All right, move your hand." He moves his hand, and the skin flap just folds over his eye and just starts squirting freaking blood everywhere. And he goes, "Go to the hospital." So the ambulance shows up and takes this guy to the hospital. And like, that was just absolutely ridiculous.
Socrates.
All right, yeah, let me get so Socrates' story just to start from the top here. When I was in Tokyo, I met a girl at a bar and walked her to the apartment. We said goodnight, and I began to wander around. It was 6 a.m. I was still drunk, and I had to poop real bad. I see a building, and it could have been either a restaurant or an apartment building. I see a door at the top of the stairs. I go up the stairs, and it was a bathroom. I have a squat and pass out sitting on the toilet. I woke up, looked down, and there was a poop on the front of the bowl.
He fucking missed the bowl.
Oh, that's gross. You took a dump in the wrong spot, bro. That's funny. That's
Man, oh man.
oh man. Things took a turn.
Classic.
I can't believe you woke up and there wasn't like a bunch of like Japanese people like, "Stupid American took a crap on the ground." Like, oh, it's funny.
That's classic right there. You have some good stories, dude.
That's awesome.
That's a shoddy story.
That's funny.
For sure.
That's a shoddy story. No pun intended, right, Donut? That's great.
Oh, good times.
Yeah, but on tour, and it was a blast. So as we left that night, the guy that said he had to be up super early for work, he left right after our set, and he went home. And the guy that we were staying with, because we literally, as both bands, we said, "Hey guys, like, we ended up staying at the venue like until almost 3 a.m. in the morning because the other band, Into the Hammer, lost their trailer key. So we were scouring the grounds of the place until we could find it so they could lock their trailer to leave. And we weren't going to leave them there. So we finally left, and we got back to the guy's house. I'm like, "Hey guys, when you get there, be super quiet." Like, he's trying to sleep. Like, we were trying, like, both of us as bands, like, we were like night stealth, like it's like ninja, like trying to pull our trucks and trailers into this dude's house so we didn't wake him up because we knew he had to work. And so like we're like being super quiet. We pull up, we like all get out nice and quiet. We don't slam any of the doors. And then all of a sudden we see his porch light flip on, and he busts open the front door, and we're like, "Oh my God, what just happened?" Like, we thought he was pissed. And then he had a glass of wine in hand, and he goes, "What's up, bitches? Let's party." And we're all like, "Woo!" We jump out of the truck, we were all trying to be kind and considerate, and it just went downhill from there. And it was hilarious. It was a lot of fun. He was such a sweet guy, like he brought on 2 sweaty metal bands into his home and let us all shower, sleep. Like, it was crazy.
Cool guy.
He was such a cool guy. Socrates. Apparently poop was coming out as I sat down, and not all of it made it into the toilet. Luckily, my pants were clean, but my underwear was not. I cleaned myself up, tossed my under, and went on. He just woke up and just like, "All right, this is a normal day for me. Just crapped here, slept here overnight in Japan, and now I'm moving on."
Love it.
I wonder if people walk by, I'm like, "Oh, American died, pooped himself and died. Leave him be."
Yeah, really. I've seen a bunch of influence your bad's writing? Bad's
Band.
band,
Yeah. So Amber, I have a story from when I was much younger, though. I find it kind of embarrassing. Well, if it's not too embarrassing to talk about, I'm sure we'd love to hear it. Side with werewolves. Hey, seen a bunch of your Japanese React videos. Has that influenced your band's writing process? I would say no. Simply just because I mean, Japanese has. I'm assuming your event maybe. I guess the first thing that I think of is because the only thing that could potentially influence is maybe more so on the side of the visual K, like heavier, like deathcore, whether that be like Dexcore or Deviluth or what's the other one, Jaluka. But I'd say the closest, I guess, and when it comes to like maybe ambiance, is my band Astral Black. We have a lot of black and it's kind of like the black metal themes to our music. We have a keyboardist. We have a lot of choir sounding, very ambient, very filling and full sounding. But that wasn't influenced by it hasn't influenced the writing because I didn't write that, right? That's just what they were already writing. But but that's a great question. I honestly appreciate it. That's an awesome question.
Oh, yeah.
Don't adapt and overcome. You're right. I had a few good times when I was in the Marine Corps. Oh, I believe it. The few, the proud, the Marines, and the ones who poop their pants. I love it. I love it.
Well, side with werewolves, I mean.
So I wasn't sure if mixing metal genres the way Japanese metal bands seem to do bled into your writing. Well, I mean, they mix it, but it's really not mixing. They don't, when it comes to the actual instrumentation and music itself, visually and cosmetically, like in appearances, they can be a lot different, and there can be a lot of Western influence mixed into their music. But when it comes to heavier music, there's plenty of bands that do the mix and the blending, or in the States or really all over the world. That's not in my personal opinion, it's not specific to just Japanese bands. There's plenty. It's just looking for the genre of music that you enjoy, right? So Amber's getting into her story here. She's still writing it, so I'm going to wait because there's a continued option there, and I'll get back to it so I can read the whole story. But side with her was this is super off topic, but just a fun theme band. The Jasons did an album where they did Ramones music with Misfits lyrics. You ever wanted to do a mashup like that? I think it would be cool. I wouldn't be against it. And that's kind of like the Pop Goes Punk stuff, right? So if you look on, for a long time that was like super popular, Pop Goes Punk. It was like post-hardcore bands, metalcore bands, deathcore bands taking popular rap songs, pop songs, and turning them to heavy songs. I think it would be cool. I definitely think it would be cool. But where I'm confident is my screaming ability. I've been doing, the screaming style of vocals, which is primarily fry, false chord. I've been doing that now for a little over 8 years. I'm confident in my ability to scream. I can always get better. However, what I'm not confident in is my singing. So a lot of the stuff that I really want to do involves singing and clean vocals. And I would really enjoy to be able to learn how to sing properly, learn what my tone is and where my range is, so that way I'm not pushing it and trying to maybe cover a song that just isn't in my range. Because everyone's got a range, right? Everyone's got a natural tone to their voice. Everyone has a natural range to their voice. Although that can be, it can be your range can obviously be expanded upon. But that's something I'm completely ignorant on, is in the actual I was saying is what I'm ignorant on is singing. I'm just not good at it. Not that I don't want to. think I could be better, and I know it could be better, but I just don't have the proper training. When it comes to screaming, I can confidently say I'm very good at that.
You are one of the best I've ever heard.
Let me see. I just want to make sure I'm catching up on stuff here. I think Amber's still going. Yep, Amber's still going, so we're gonna wait. Side. I missed something. But Skeleton Witch does Dio. See, no one can do Dio. Ronnie James Dio, that man is like a metal legend. Even though I wasn't a huge like fan of that era of metal, everyone knows Ronnie James Dio. It's kind of like Ozzy, right? Everyone knows Ozzy. He's the Prince of Darkness, Sharon. But but Ozzy's just a big sweetheart.
That guy definitely had a vocal prowess that is hard to be touched.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, Dio was awesome. He had an insane range. I love me some scream vocals. Most of my clean vocal bands are like Direct Hit and All Dinosaurs, more punk. Okay. Yeah, so typically the type of bands that I will listen to is, metalcore and deathcore. Like those are the genres that I kind of stick to. If you look at, if you want to get more precise, there's gent, and then there's progressive metalcore, then there's this and there's that. But I like metal. But typically the metal that I side with more is like gent, deathcore, and that kind of stuff.
The good stuff. It's all good, but
Okay, so it looks like Amber is finished with her story, so we're gonna go ahead and read that. Perfectly lines up here. All right. So this is Amber's embarrassing story, everyone. So I wake up in the middle of the night having to go to the bathroom. So I get out of bed, walk down the hallway, go to the bathroom, and sit down. I was still really tired, and then remember. And I remembered nothing. So I thought I just fell back asleep. The next time I opened my eyes, because my parents were waking me up, I looked around me and I realized I was in a closet with coats and sitting on a bucket. The bucket had our broom, mop, feather duster being stored there. I then busted out crying, and my parents had to calm me down and just sent me back to bed. I remember dragging my feet back to my room, laying down in bed, and then my eyes shooting open as the entire realization hit me about what happened. I went out and I asked my parents if I just pissed in a bucket. They confirmed it, and I woke, and it woke me up because it was our coat closet right next to the front door. They were making sure I didn't leave our house. We threw everything out and had to go buy new.
Oh no.
Man. So were you sleepwalking, or was it just like you were just so tired and you thought you were in the right direction? That sucks.
Bad dream, man.
Yeah, or a bad dream, yeah. Side with Werewolves, 99 pages is from circa 2010, but it has that fun early 1990s screamo. Might be a fun listen. Just love learning new bands and music. Rabbit holes to explore. Yeah, no, absolutely. Trying to think.
Nice super chat.
When I grew up, it was keep doing your jam. Maybe you'll be the next Herman Lee on streams. Hey, I appreciate the five on super chat side with Werewolves. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I wish Herman Lee's he's a lot of fun to watch. He gets to collaborate with a lot of the really, really, really big musician streamers. Those guys are cool, like Jared Dines. I'm super excited to see Jared Dines' album with Howard Jones, formerly of Killswitch. That's going to be awesome too. You were sleepwalking, Amber. Okay. But yeah, Side with Werewolves. I love, and that's why the biggest reason I'm doing this reaction channel. A lot of it's just a lot of fun because I'm like, right now, my biggest viewer base is Indonesian, and I'm watching and checking out a lot of Indonesian metal and rock bands that I've never heard of, and some of them are awesome. A lot of them, unfortunately, I can't understand what they're saying, but I can respect the talent that goes into it, and that's still a lot of fun to check out and watch, right? So that's really cool. But again, man, thank you for the super chat. I definitely appreciate it. Thanks for coming by the stream. It means a lot. Apparently I did it a lot, and the most common thing I did was chug bottles of Hershey's chocolate syrup. Wow. Imagine just waking up with just chocolate syrup all over your face. Like, what happened?
Crazy.
I was sleepwalking one time, apparently grabbed pudding, took it back to my bed with a spoon, opened the container, and then just fell back asleep. Oh, man.
Pudding's good. I found a newfound respect for pudding in my old age.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like a thing? Like as you get older, you're like, I like softer foods. It's pudding now.
It's weird because I never liked the yogurts and stuff like that. But now that I've evolved and my palate's more refined, Yeah, I like that stuff. You know, it's just different.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He did a stream with Konami and Mike last week. I'm not sure who either of those people are, Donut. Maybe I did if I had the names, but I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with the names. Ember, my father woke me up thinking I was sick because I was covered with chocolate pudding. He woke me up, and when I sat up, the pudding container was just under me. That's funny. Side with wolves. I want to get into Spanish / South American punk music. Has always been a great motivator for me to learn languages. Interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool.
That's great. Sure.
Mike, you're Kyle. Misher? I don't know who that is. Jack Black. I know who Jack Black is. Oh, really? That's cool. That's really cool. Now that would be really cool if I could get like an interview and do an interview with one of the members from like Love Bites or Bandmate or one that would be a super cool interview there. I think that would like that. You are Jack Black. Off mic friend is KG. And no, Jack Black's a funny dude. I don't think I could ever be near as funny as him.
He's a great guy. Great actor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nemophilia is going hard for the English-speaking world.
I think really. So I think I've only reacted to 1 or 2 songs by Nemophilia. I think either soccer. I have to scroll up in the chat. Someone requested it earlier and to put it on my watch list. I just for some reason can't remember who did.
Nemophilia.
Nemophilia, yeah. I remember I got torn apart because in the reaction video I called Nemophilia. It's Nemophila, and they're like, it's not like pedophilia. And I was like, I get it. I'm sorry. And it's funny because I remember I did that when I was still living at home, and I told my dad as soon as I reread it after I posted it, and I was like, oh no, it's not Nemophilia, it's Nemophila. Donovan, okay. Dissension, you're right. Okay. And I was like, I'm gonna get torn apart for mispronouncing them. Watch. And sure enough, people are like, by the way, it's pronounced Nemophila, not Nemophilia. And I was like, okay, thank you. Donut Man is I just want to make okay. Yeah, Nemophil is getting super. Side with Wolf says on off time checkout fighter, and at the end of their video, they talk about their third single. Saki has decent English. As you know, she's from Mary's Blood, and I, the vocalist, speak English too. Okay. Yeah, I think that would be really cool if I could. I mean, those are very big bands, and I'm not sure how I could go about doing that with, I mean, that would be cool if I could get an interview with one of them who spoke decent enough English to be able to do an interview. Because unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to do an interview with one of them who speaks completely in Japanese, because I'd be like, I know you're probably saying something really important, but I got nothing. Email the record label. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but so here's the thing with that.
Worth a shot.
It is worth a shot. No, absolutely. And you have to kind of work your way up on situations like that. So sure. If you have to take into the considerations of what the label would think too. They would go, all right, who is this person? All right, they'd look at my channel and go, all right, he has 2.5 thousand subscribers. That's not a lot of people in comparison to Love Bites channel or the, I don't know why I just blanked. Bandmate channel has way more subscribers. So they're like, what benefit would we have or the band have getting on an interview process or doing an interview with this channel, right? Other than, to be honest, the only benefit would be in that situation, me, if I'm being completely honest, because they're much bigger than my channel. So it would almost be like they would do the interview just because they would do it for fun, right? And I absolutely don't want to pay any bands to interview them because that defeats the purpose. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth a shot. I'm not against trying, and I absolutely can try. An email costs you zero. You're absolutely right. An email does, and I'm not against trying. At least you didn't call them necrophilia. Yeah, that would be interesting, right? That might get awkward. You called them what? I'm sorry, I didn't know. Give a specific. Here's my questions. I'll let you cut it for 5-ish minutes. Yeah, so actually, and that's actually what I did. So the band that I'm interviewing this coming Monday, I did that exact same thing. I have a set thing of questions. I want it to be short and sweet. I don't want the interview long. I want the interview to be completely and utterly not surrounded, but centered around the band, what they're working on, who they are. I want the entire interview to basically be one giant plug for their band. So if people watch it, they have a reason to at least go check out their music. So like in the description of my video will be all of their social media links, their merch store links, and everything. I want it to be just a plug for them and just another place that they can plug their band, right? But as I grow as a channel, and if I continue to grow with my reactions, doing interviews and people like that, getting bigger bands like that will definitely be way more attainable. Because if a larger subscriber count and a larger viewer base means more exposure and maybe a different market for that band. So if I'm located, they look at me and I'm located in the United States and it's a band from, like the band I'm interviewing Monday, Poland, that's another market that they could be reaching here in the States. People, if people watch my videos from the States or even Indonesia, people from Indonesia who currently are encompassing 70% of my viewer base right now, they may not have ever heard of a Polish metal band. And this is an opportunity now to, expose them to a different market. That's a whole other band going typo negative. Man, I haven't heard typo negative in a long time. You know how bands, labels, or PR want to control the narrative. If you're going pro band and offer them up to cut and just say you have to let me say my question in full, you can answer and cut it. Sure. No, absolutely. At the end of the day, I presented the band that I'm interviewing Monday with the questions beforehand. They're short and sweet, to the point. I let them know I let them know exactly what I'm going to be doing, how I'm going to be opening the stream, and it's very short, sweet. I want it to be clean cut. I don't want to try anything overly complex or complicated for the first interview. I just want to see if it's going to run smoothly, make sure everything works, out how it should be. But it's just super short and sweet. I'm subbed because I'm interested in to see the interview. Well, I appreciate you, subbing. Thanks, man. I definitely do. And I hope it goes, I hope it goes smoothly. I mean, I can tell you the questions now, and you guys, as my viewer base, I'd love to get your opinion on them. It's not a big secret, so I think it would be cool to, if I can type proper, so I can tell you the exact questions that I'm going to be asking them. So basically, Mentally Blind is a Polish metal band, guys, and my first thing I'm going to say is, who makes up Mentally Blind and where are you guys from? I would like for each of them to go around, give a, say their name, say what their role is in the band. That's gonna be the first thing I ask them. That's not really a question. That's just kind of like the intro, the icebreaker. Maybe I'll come up with something goofy like, hey, go around, who's mentally blind? Tell me who you are and what you do in the band and like your favorite candy or something stupid like that. And then the next, so the actual, I have 4 solid questions for them. The first question is, why the name Mentally Blind and how did the band form? So why did you guys choose the name Mentally Blind? What's the context behind the name and how did you guys form? The next question is, it's kind of a 2-part question, actually. Way to sneak in an extra one. Who or what bands are some of your biggest influences as musicians? And who is your current favorite artist? So it's kind of like an overall influence for who's your influence as a band? What influenced you to make the music that you do? And then for each and every one of you, who's your biggest influence as an artist? The third question is, if you could tour anywhere, where would it be? Just kind of like a dreaming question, right? Something fun to talk about. Where would it be awesome to visit? And then number 4, how has the pandemic, COVID-19, how has it affected you as a band? And then the fifth thing, just to kind of basically wrap up the interview with them, I'm basically just saying, hey, please plug your band, your music, what you may have in the works, your merch store, your new album, and your social medias, personal or band. So I want them to plug everything and anything about them at the beginning of the video and end of the video. So the band starts with them talking about themselves and who they are, and ends with them talking and promoting and plugging themselves. And that way, just saying, then I'll end it by saying as a reminder, look at the links in the description of the video. It has all of their information. Go check these guys out. So, I mean, that's the interview. It's going to be very short and sweet. I don't want it to be overwhelming or complex or complicated. I want it to be structured, organized, to the point.
It's gonna be a home run.
So, just because I don't want these guys to feel uncomfortable. I don't want them sitting in here and be like, so when you were in grade school, what was your favorite subject? Like, I don't want it to be about that. I want it to be just kind of fun, very light, and just kind of keep, just keep it short, sweet, and keep it under like 20 minutes if possible. Like, get to know Mentally Blind in 20 minutes, something just kind of cool and fun, and like I said, Monday is going to be the experiment, right? It's going to be the first one. I've never done, I've done interviews where I'm on the other side and I've been interviewed, with my band, but I've never personally been the one to do interviews, but I thought it could be a fun addition to the channel. All right. Let me catch up here, make sure I'm not missing anything. I can't learn all the languages to just jam to all music. Hey man, you can still enjoy the music for what it is, right? Even if you don't know the languages, a lot of the videos on YouTube have closed captioning now that you can at least watch the video and follow along with the English closed captioning and see what they're saying, or you can find the lyrics on a website and find some websites can automatically be translated to English. It's an extra step, but you can find some of that as well. And you can, I grew up loving Rammstein, and I had no idea what he was saying. I don't speak German, Till Lindemann, but everyone knows Rammstein, right? The only bummer to YouTube is you can't get rated by other streamers. Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer, but that's okay. I think what's cool about I think what's cool about not being rated or anything like that is that I'm organically growing the people who watch my videos. It's all, it's organic reach. I have an Instagram, but damn if I ever post on it. I always forget to. I have a Facebook like page too, and I always forget to post on there too. Like I do. I mean, I won't lie. I'm, between work and everything else in my bands, like I still do my reaction videos on a consistent basis. I try to stream on a consistent basis, but I don't post on those as much as I should. So the views that I get are just from, organic, suggestions on YouTube and stuff like that, which is cool. It's cool to see that, I am growing in a little bit, and I'm sure there's more that I could do to help grow it faster, but that's not the point of this for me. The point of this is just to have that thing that I can, do to relax and have fun. Like, I don't want it to be something, I don't want it to be an added stress in my life. I want this to be something that I can look forward to doing. So that's why I'm trying to do things that I'll enjoy, like doing these interviews. I thought could be a fun thing to do. Who knows? I might do the interview and I might hate it and it might be really uncomfortable or awkward. Do I think that's going to be the case? No, but it's always a possibility, right? You said you love the structure. Cool. I'm glad you like the structure of what I plan on doing. That definitely makes me feel better about it. You should dual stream YouTube and Twitch. I feel like this is the first stream of yours I've seen. I've seen several Twitch and or YouTubers who dual stream. Might be a good way to go. I could Twitch stream as well. It's definitely a possibility. I'm actually, funny enough, I'm actually an affiliate on Twitch. Not because of this, but I used to stream a lot of gaming years ago. And I was really consistent. I was playing a lot of games, playing a lot of Skyrim and playing a lot of, RuneScape and just the games that I enjoyed. And I grew a small little viewer base, but I just got tired of it and it wasn't something that I really enjoyed. But I got to the point where I was an affiliate on Twitch. I cashed out my first $100 or whatever the cap was on it. And, that was cool. But, but I mean, it was cool. But yeah, I do have a Twitch account, and it's definitely, I mean, it's a thought. It really is. But I was like I said, I don't want to dive too deep. Maybe if I start growing to the point where I was like, yeah, maybe that's a good idea to do. But primarily, I just if you like what I typically just ask, hey, subscribe to the channel, and if